Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. We've got a packed show today. Skip, Shannon, let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed, live from Los Angeles. I'm Ebony K. Williams here this morning with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, fellas.
Welcome back.
It's so good to be back.
It's been too long.
Fake.
So good to be back.
Wait a second. We got Ebony and Ivory here, right?
How are you doing, Ebony? Great to see you again.
It's
Thanks
so
for
good
coming
to see
back.
you. I missed y'all. I had to come back.
I know it's hard to stomach. You got to come back and
You know
work
what?
with somebody I know.
I apologize up front for all that he is going to do today. You just got to keep
What are you
him in-
apologizing for?
Well, you know what you do.
I'm
You know
sincere.
how
I'm authentic in my praise of Ebony. And you are like, hi, Ebony. She know it. She saw through you from the beginning. She's
This is
a lawyer.
called parody of Shannon Sharpe over here.
She was a prosecutor, so she's able to see through bull
She's
jive.
about to prosecute you. How are you?
How you doing, bro?
Good.
I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Here we go.
A hot mess. Here we go this morning. So we're going to start with LeBron James. Now, he struggled with the Warriors, losing 3 out of the last 4 years to the Golden State Warriors in the finals. LeBron's played a big role, though, in filling out the Lakers roster. Yesterday, GM Rob Pelinka gave his thoughts on how to beat the Warriors. Take a listen.
If your goal is to win a championship, you've got to look at the way the champs are assembled and how you can give yourself the best chance, to take them down. It's not the sole focus or the sole goal, but it's certainly part of the equation. And, Irvin and I had a conversation, and, LeBron echoed this sentiment that I think to try to play the Warriors in their own game is a trap. No one's going to beat them at their own game. And so that's why we wanted to add these elements of sort of defense and toughness and depth and try to look at areas where we'll have an advantage.
Shannon, do you agree with Pelinka's philosophy there?
I do. And what we've seen, Skip, is that we've seen teams build their teams to try to take down the Golden State Warriors, beat them at what they do, which is move the ball and shoot the three. And we've seen teams, well, if we get up 50 of those and we make 20, we're going to win. Yeah, anybody that gets up 50 and makes 20, they're going to win. But the likelihood of that happening is not very good. What we've seen from the Golden State Warriors, teams have had success, especially now, this is a caveat, we got to get some context here. Skip, when the Cavaliers took down the Warriors in 7 games, Game 7, they held them to 89 points. We have yet to see someone that can consistently do that since they've added Kevin Durant, because now they have 3 of the all-time great shooters that are normally always on the court. No other team possesses that firepower. So you get into it and say, you know what? We're going to beat them at what they do really well, which is score the basketball. So next thing you know, you're at 110, 115, 120, and then you look up at the end of the game when the buzzer goes off, they got 138, you got 127. You're not going to win those type of ball games, Skip. So I like the way they're building this building this team. And you hear people say, well, they're beatable. Yes, absolutely. We've seen someone beat them a game. But in order to take them down once playoffs come along, you have to beat them 4 times over 2 weeks with arguably the 2nd and the 5th best players in the NBA in their prime. Clay is a legit number 2 on any other team, and Draymond is Draymond. Draymond does a little bit of everything. He rebounds, he assists, he'll defend, he'll steal the ball. He'll even give you a couple of points if you need him to, because we once saw him, Skip, go get 32 in the Game 7. That had they won that game, he was going to be the most valuable player in the Game 7. I mean, in the finals. So I do agree. And if you look at the way they kind of built this team, Skip, they don't have the scores. They don't have like what we're used to seeing with LeBron, knockdown shooters. They got JaVale McGee, a rim protector. Lance Stevenson can defend. He can also make plays for himself and the others. But it seems to me, Skip, what they're going to do moving forward, they're going to switch everything. They got Kuzma, length. They got Ingram, length. McGee, length. LeBron, length. On-ball defenders, Lance Stevens, Caldwell Pope. So I like the way they're assembling this team to try to limit the points, because if they start getting 115, 120, bye-bye. You're not beating Golden State.
So it sounds like Golden State is in big trouble
Man,
here,
stop
right?
it, Skip. See, there
Well,
you
it sounds like they're dead in the water, because
Skip.
here come the defending right? They're the defending champs, but these are the defending Lakers, right?
All Rob Pelinka said is that the way we're assembling our team, we're not beating them. We're not assembling three-pointers and try to go 3 for 3 with them. We're going to try to defend them and keep them on, the low 100s. 105 or below, you have a chance. 90's got an excellent chance. 80, you're probably going to win. They start getting 115, 120, 120. Skip, you can't touch that.
So I guess Rob Pelinka and Magic Johnson are saying that LeBron James, who has the highest IQ, in my opinion, in all of basketball, was dead wrong in how he built his Cleveland Cavaliers because he built it upside down the wrong way. He was beating his head against the wrong wall trying to beat Golden State with shooters instead of defenders. Am I right about that?
Well, that's what he's always had. He had success with that in Miami. He had success, but he didn't know this was lurking, and they still would have beat him.
So now are they saying that LeBron is seeing the light? This is the way?
Let me ask you a question. Had they not got Kevin Durant, do you think the Golden State Warriors could have beat the Cavaliers 2 of the last 3 years?
Yes, I do.
Without Kevin?
Yes, I do.
Skip, you saw what happened in Game 3.
I saw they were up 3-1 when Draymond got suspended for Game 5. I saw it. It would have happened again.
Okay, so what was going to happen?
It wouldn't have been as decisive without Kevin Durant.
What was going to happen in Game 3?
Game 3, which year?
Every year since Kevin Durant's been there. Who's been the equalizer? Who's been the finals MVP? That's what you keep telling me. He's the best player. You keep telling me now he's the best player. So you remove the best player.
Who deferred to the best player? Steph Curry deferred. Who was a 2-time MVP before Kevin got there? Steph Curry.
Guess what?
Yep.
Steph Curry can't defer if Kevin Durant's not there. Steph Curry can't go 2 for 17 and score 10 points and they win. Klay Thompson can't score 13 points and they win. But you can do that if Kevin Durant go get you 43, 10, and 8.
He's trying to distract us from the matter at hand. So I'm going to go back to Ebony's original question about what's going on here and now, and that is, I loved what Rob Pelinka said because the irony here is thicker than the LA smog. Because now Rob Pelinka says he and Magic have sort of suggested to LeBron and that he has co-signed that they will build this team to take down the Golden State Warriors with defenders, with hard-nosed, tough, two-way players who will play defense as well as offense. And yet, the new center of the Laker universe is one LeBron James, who finished last year during the regular season 317th in defense, in individual defense, 317th. And by your own confession and admission, he played little to no defense last year in his 15th NBA season because he just couldn't, because he's got to focus and channel all of his energy, whatever he's got left in his 15th year, into the offensive end of the floor. Didn't you not say that, Mr. Sharpe?
Yes.
Thank you very much. And in the playoffs, it got so bad that LeBron was basically playing a one-man zone defense where he would just stand underneath the basket and let his man roam free on the three-point line. And if he had a hot hand, you're just in trouble because LeBron ain't going to run at him on the three-point line because that's too much expended energy that you got to save for offense, correct?
Okay.
So we're building this team, this tough-minded defensive team, around the one guy in the league, the one star who plays little to no defense. Don't you find some irony in that?
I do not.
So maybe the others will sort of take LeBron up a level, right?
So let me get this straight. With Trevor Ariza, with P.J. Tucker, Clint Capella, the Houston Rockets had a very good defense.
Now, that was a defensive team, and that team had the Golden State Warriors on the ropes.
If you don't mind me asking, who was the MVP on that team? James Harden. So
a guy who, for the first time in his life, actually played some
No,
defense
he did
last
not.
year.
Skip,
Yes, he did.
Skip, normally, this is what happens. The better the team defense is, the players will be rated higher. Kyrie Irving is not a defensive player, but because they play great team defense, he gets rated higher. James Harden is not a good defensive player by any analytics, by any metrics. You know that. Okay, like you like to tell me, what does your eye test tell you? What does your eye test tell you?
They told me last year, by his standards, which were less than zero, he played some defense. He played more defense than LeBron James played last year.
What the difference is because he had better defenders that could help him make up. Clint Capella was a very good defender.
Yes, he
then
was.
Bob Moute, P.J. Tucker. Those guys are known for defense. Name the guy on the Cleveland Cavaliers, other than Tristan Thompson, that's known for defense. So you got to
Well, once upon a time, LeBron was.
Yeah, he was. But that was before he had to take on this workmanlike load night in and night out. Skip, don't do that.
Well, if he doesn't have a second star next year, is he not going to have to take on an even bigger scoring load?
Well, they believe that these young guys, Brandon Ingram is going to have to take another monumental step. Kyle Kuzma is going to have to take another monumental step. Lonzo Ball is
Listen, I watched a lot of Lakers last year. I saw Kyle Kuzma play little to no defense, like it was an afterthought at best. And I love Kyle as a guy, but I did not see any defense from him. I don't think it's in his DNA.
Well, I was watching the game, and I was watching Lonzo Ball, and I watched him play little to no offense on a given night.
And I watched Lonzo Ball ranked 28th in the NBA. Remember, there are only, 30 teams? So he ranked 28th in individual defense. That is special for a 19 going on 20-year-old. Special. So I'm going to give you that. You got one big-time defender there.
Well, normally, guys are the deficient at one end of the court, normally reign supreme on the other.
10, 7, and 7.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
Shooting 30%, shooting
Double-doubles,
45%.
double-doubles. Wow. Interesting.
Let me ask you a question. Did he shoot 31% from the three?
Yes, he did.
Did he shoot 45% from the free throw line?
Has to get better.
Did he shoot 36% from the field? Yep. Was that him or was it somebody else?
Did he have a 12-game stretch where he was the number one three-point shooter in the league over 12 games? I don't know. That was pretty great.
82 games in the season.
You saw what could be, what will be.
And I saw what could be when he goes 0 for 12 from the three. I saw what could be.
Back to defense.
Okay.
By the way, I just want to remind Rob Pelinka that the Golden State Warriors during the playoffs last year had 5 defenders rank in the top 13 of all players who played in the playoffs.
Yes.
5 of the top 13 were Golden State Warriors, starting with Draymond at 2 and Clay at 4. Those are 2 really good, hellacious good defenders.
Kevin Durant is long.
And
JaVale McGee is
Steph
long.
was really good in the playoffs. He was 6th, and KD was 7th, and Iggy was 13th. So there's, wow. Well, that's 5 of the top 13. You're up against a team that plays both sides of the basketball,
because
right?
you know what they do, Skip? They put so much pressure on you offensively that because you know they force you to take bad shots because you try and match them. Steph starts raining 30-foot threes. Clay, as soon as the ball touches hand. You know, you build this team, Skip. Last year was an anomaly. When you play the New England Patriots, what does team say? No one says, we're going to outscore the Patriots. They say we got to put Tom Brady on his butt. We got to slow him down. Well, that's one game. You can slow the Golden State Warriors down for one game, but over a 2-week span, can you beat them 3 more times after you take that one game?
So, tough, hard-nosed defenders.
Yeah.
Rajon Rondo, I don't think he's thought about playing a lot of defense since about 2013.
He did a great job on Dame Lillard last year.
I didn't see it. I didn't see that.
You didn't
I'm
see
sorry,
that?
I did not see that.
What'd you see?
I saw, man, I saw a Rondo who mostly focuses on the offensive end in his advanced years. That's what I saw. I saw him going LeBron last year in the playoffs, playing more offense than defense. He will roam and he will steal on occasion. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But he doesn't play great on-the-ball defense. But I'm going to give
Who
you...
does other than Patrick Beverley and these elite guys like a Paul George or a Klay Thompson? Skip, those are few and far between. These guys are so talented, the likelihood, I don't care how great the defender is. If he's an elite level offensive talent, you can do nothing with him if he's in his bag.
Okay, I got you. So I'm going to give you Lance. They added Lance Stevenson, and he is a street-smart battler on defense who will resort to all means possible, including blowing in your ear, to distract you and get under your skin and into your psyche.
He only did that to LeBron. He ain't blowing nobody else.
But I'm just saying he will try anything to get you off your game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you that one. And I will give you they re-signed KCP. He is a tough two-way player who shot the ball very well from 3 last year. And I'll give you JaVale as a rim protector because he is long and athletic.
Yes.
He's not always the smartest player on the floor, IQ-wise, as far as basketball knowledge and sense, but he will defend the rim. And I'm going to give you Josh Hart, because I've been watching him in the Summer League, and you want to talk, Rob called him a pit bull defender. He is that. You know, the Villanova kid, he's a sophomore now, and so he should be dominating the Summer League, but he is dominating the Summer League at 6'5", 215 pounds. He looks like an NBA man of a player. So I'm going to give you him in this rotation next year unless they trade him. So you've got those things going on, and then to his point, he says we're underestimated as three-point shooters. But remember, as a team last year, they were the second worst three-point shooting team in basketball.
Right.
Okay, and you lost some players. You had a Jordan Clarkson who he didn't shoot that well from three, but he gave you 15 points a game. And you lost Josh Randall, and you lost Larry Nance, and you lost Brook Lopez, who could score the ball on offense and shoot threes. He was a 35% three-point shooter.
And plus, he's another big body. Because right now, who's the other big other than McGee that they have? You normally go into the season with at least two bigs.
Okay.
Because
So,
they don't have that since they lost Julius Randle.
Given all this, the audacity of Rob Pelinka to call out Golden State. I just fell out of my chair last night.
How did he call them out?
Well, he's saying, we're going to take you down. That's how it's going to come across to the Golden State Warriors.
No, it's not.
Who needed some bulletin board material this offseason to motivate them to win yet another championship after they added DeMarcus Cousins. So they now have 5 All-Stars and new motivation, because you know and I know that Steph Curry will bring up these quotes all next year about, well, the Lakers, they're trying to take us down.
I think they're going to be motivated because they want to. They are a great team, but to start moving up into that Bulls realm, three-peat, the 60 Celtics, 8 in a row. 3 in a row, very few teams have done that. Only the Bulls, only the Celtics of the 70s. Not the Showtime Lakers, not the Larry Bird the Celtics. So now you're starting to get in rarefied air. They're starting to hold on. When you start talking about all-time great teams 25 years from now, the Warriors from 2016, 2017 moving forward will come up in those mentions. That's what their motivation is. All he's saying is that, look, Skip, everybody's building their team. Well, whomever wins the Super Bowl, how do they win the Super Bowl? Okay, now how do we go out and take it from them? New England, everybody was gearing up. Pittsburgh was saying it in March. Oh, we got to play this type of coverage because this is what we got to do to Tom Brady. Skip, that's always going to be the case.
Do you know how these quotes are going to be interpreted nationally? As if Rob Pelinka, the GM of the Los Angeles Lakers, is saying, next year our goal is to dethrone the Golden State Warriors. That's how this will come across. That's how it will. You know it and I know it. You don't like it, but you know I'm right about this.
I like that he said it because I like the fact that he says this is going to be the best way for us to beat the Golden State Warriors. We're not a team equipped to not only take 53s, but make 20 of those.
If I were Rob Pelinka, I would have kept that to myself.
I ain't gonna
it will
keep
do
nothing.
your team no good next year.
What did I tell you? Rob Pelinka, and he's my kindred spirit. Because see, if I was a Maasai Warrior boy, they send him out, Skip. Why would I want to sneak up on the line?
I've heard this story about 5 times on the show.
Why would I want to sneak up on the line?
You have to take your drum with you.
Yeah.
Drum.
I'm beating it.
That's the
I'm gonna wake him up.
Right.
Because everybody, you stole on the line. He didn't know you was coming. I need him to know I was coming.
In this case, you're after 5 lions.
Yes!
You're just a little kid after 5 lions up there in the north part of California,
we got the king,
right?
We got the king of the
You got the
Maasai
king?
Warrior. Yeah. And he's getting these young men ready to go out on their own. We'll be ready. Don't you worry about us. You worry about your team.
Well, I'm worried about what's going to happen when you face Golden State next year, because they are not going to be happy with this.
Are we going to face Golden State with or without Kawhi?
Well, is that what you're hanging all your hopes on?
Well, Greg Popovich said he's going to make Kawhi happy. What would make Kawhi happy is being up out of San Antonio, being in the purple and gold. So do the right thing by him, Pop.
I think there's a better chance that he's in L.A. with the Clippers than the Lakers. That's what I think.
Okay, well, if y'all want peanuts and Cracker Jacks for Kawhi, have at it. We offered you something of value. They got nothing. You want Tobias Harris? You want Teodosic? Is that what you want in return? Maybe you want Bobo.
You realize, and we're going to talk about this coming up pretty quickly here on this show, Jerry West is now running the Clippers. Mastermind. Do not underestimate his ability to pull off a deal like this.
How many big time free agents he got to come to Memphis? Was he not running Memphis?
Were they not really good? While
how many big time free agents?
Huh?
How many big time free agents?
Was he not the principal advisor to the Golden State Warriors over the last 6 years?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wasn't it his recommendation to draft Clay and Draymond and then Patrick McCaw, who's going to be a really special player?
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it in a minute.
I got it. But this is what you're asking for. And to me, this came across as Rob Pelinka was trying to defend what he and Magic are doing to build the team. And you don't need to defend it because he was responding. It's like you can be a victim of Twitter occasionally, where you're responding. A lot of people are victims of Twitter. you know, and you're responding to what two people say in Des Moines, Iowa, and it gets you off your game. And it got Rob Pelinka off his game because he's reading too much criticism via social media, so he has to say, no, let me explain to you what we're trying to do. Well, keep that to yourself. You should build this quietly until you're ready to pounce on Golden State.
First of all, you got LeBron James.
Yeah, but you were going to get a honeymoon year because you don't have a second star. And now the honeymoon just ended prematurely because you're basically calling out the Golden State Warriors saying, we are coming for you.
Well, listen.
You're basically saying Showtime is back. But this is a new Showtime because we're going to do it with the defensive end.
Skip, you're not going to sneak up on anybody if you buy 100 gallons of jet fuel, 10,000 nails, and ball bearings. When you get LeBron James, who you sneaking up on? They know you building something huge.
But LeBron has instilled in the LeBron protecting media the fact that he needs help. He needs a second star. He needs a third star. And right now, he is a solo act with a young team with a couple of veteran pieces that...
Kind of like Tom Brady, huh?
Yeah.
When Tom Brady wins, Tom Brady does it all alone. He loses, he needs more help. You see?
Have I ever one time said he needs more help?
Yeah!
I've never said that one time on this show because he makes his own help. He takes a group of receivers you could have picked out of the stands right before kickoff, and he goes to the Super Bowl with them.
Really?
He loses Julian Edelman, it doesn't matter. He loses Rob Gronkowski, it doesn't matter.
But
all I hear is, LeBron just doesn't have enough help.
Really?
Doesn't have enough help.
Really? That's the hill you want to plant your flag on.
Well, I just planted it because that's what LeBron plants his flag on year after playoff loss after finals loss.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. When Rob Gronkowski catches a pass and turns around and runs the other way, then you and I will talk. Because that's what we know somebody did. Yeah, up under the basket, had an opportunity to put the ball back in the basket. He takes the ball and runs 25 feet outside. So when Rob Gronkowski or Julian Edelman does that, talk to me.
When Tom Brady turns down the opportunity for him to make the play, if he calls an audible on the play of the game to hand the ball off, then you got me there. But Tom Brady wants the ball in his hands, and he wants to make the throw to win the game, as opposed to LeBron James, who has Steph Curry on him at 6 feet 3 inches tall, and he passes the ball to George Hill because he's afraid to take the do-or-die shot.
Oh.
Game over.
Skip,
Thank you. Thanks for opening that door.
You would have had a compelling argument had he not taken the game-winning shot against Indiana. Had he not taken the game-winning shot against Toronto.
Game one of the finals at Oakland. You have them.
So now playoffs don't matter.
You have them.
So now it's only the finals that matter in the playoffs. Is that what we're getting at?
This was the moment of the playoffs, of the whole year, of the whole season, the 28.
I just want to get you on record. So
yes.
only finals playoffs matter. So round 1, round 2, round 3 does not matter. Only finals. So everybody that's gone to the playoffs, if you did not play in the finals, it means nothing.
Well, obviously, this was the moment. If he's the king, if he's the best player, you got to close that deal.
No, Skip.
You can't go over and melt down on the bench.
But this is what I don't understand. But you highlight Tom Brady, what he did in the fourth quarter against Jacksonville. You highlight what he did in all those playoff games.
I highlight Super Bowls, fourth quarters.
Okay.
I just told you the other day, the last 3 fourth quarters of his 3 Super Bowls. Go look at the numbers. They're otherworldly. They're the greatest clutch numbers you'll ever see.
No, but
those games mattered because it was the fourth quarter.
What about the cut thumb in the fourth quarter against third and fourth quarters against Jacksonville?
Okay.
You highlighted that. So it doesn't matter because it wasn't the Super Bowl.
Okay. So all right, I'll give you that. I'll just take those 3 fourth quarters of the Super Bowls. I'll take the 3 fourth quarters where he set up game-winning Vinatieri kicks.
I'll
take those.
And I'll take that game 6 where LeBron James set up Ray Allen. I'll take that game right there.
Set up Ray Allen?
Yep.
He set him up with a missed shot that missed badly.
Scored 16 of their 30. Assisted on another 6 points.
Yeah, and he had 3 turnovers in the last 3 minutes.
Did Tom Brady turn the ball over? Did Tom Brady turn the ball over? In any of the last 3 Super Bowls, did Tom Brady turn the ball over?
Was that an unforced error by Tom Brady?
There's no such
No, it was a forced error.
No,
Yes.
Un
is when you throw a bad interception.
And Josh McDaniels gave Tom Brady an opportunity to take the ball in his own hand. Called a pass for him, Ebony. Whoa.
No, you're doing a juggling act. The ball's overthrown. He couldn't even get his hands on it. Yeah.
All right, fellas, you know what? I tell you what.
Revising history.
I'm going to make a deal with y'all. We're going to come back later in the show and talk a lot more about LeBron and these Lakers. But next, you know what, Skip Bayless? Somebody told me somebody's talking about y'all's Cowboys. And guess what? People are saying and asking, do the Cowboys have one of the worst offensive in the NFL?
You're about to be in for this one.
Up next.
Here we go.
worse with a T.
Yeah.
No mercy.
The Cowboys' offense has gone through some major changes this offseason. ESPN's Bill Barnwell ranked the offensive weapons of all the teams, and he put the Cowboys 30th. Now, the rankings include pass catchers and running backs, but not quarterbacks or the offensive line. Now, the Cowboys still have Zeke Elliott, but they don't have a number one receiver. Shannon Sharpe, where would you rank the Cowboys?
Got a bunch of number twos, figuratively and literally. Yeah. Just think of
Go ahead, plunge. Just get yourself in trouble.
I just need to know
How dare you.
They're ranked 30th, right? Ebony?
That's
How
what
many
he
teams
said.
in the NFL, Skip?
32.
Good goodness, buddy. So y'all near the bottom. Bottom feeders, exactly right. He got it right. I might have to put you a little lower.
Go ahead.
Nah, the Jets.
Have the guts.
No, the Jets don't really have anything. Skip, let's be real. Okay, Tavon Austin is a novelty. Cole Beasley, Allen Hurns had one season. Williams has a game or two, nothing consistent. Now, granted, Dez Bryant was not the Dez Bryant of 2013-14, but he's still better than what they got right now. You know that, I know that.
I don't know that.
Jason Witten was not the guy. He wasn't going to be able to give you those big games where he give you 100 yards and maybe a touchdown or two in a game. He couldn't give you that. He was a move the stick guy. What did they replace him with, Skip? I don't get it. See, you pin all your hopes on the offensive line. But what happens when they say, you know what, today we refuse to let Zeke Elliott run the ball? Now, which is going to be a tall task. Because I believe that offensive line will be healthy. I believe
Remember, we're not supposed to talk about the offensive line.
Right.
This is
That wasn't-
right. They're out.
Yeah.
They're out. Right. The
But-
quarterback is out.
Okay, but Zeke Elliott. So what is Zeke going to do? So he's going to be some part of that offense, right? They're looking at the pass catchers. They say when somebody shuts you down from running the ball, your pass catchers are garbage. That's what he said. I didn't say that, Skip.
Well, yes, you did.
No, I didn't say
You
that.
just said they should be lower than 30th. You just ranked them 31st. That just came out of your mouth.
Said 31st.
Didn't you just say that?
I put it like
what
this.
are you doing? Now you're talking out of both
No,
sides of your
no.
mouth within 1 minute on this show.
No.
Which is it?
Take Zeke
Are
Elliott.
they garbage or not?
Take Zeke Elliott out in their college team.
Okay, but he counts.
He's in.
Okay.
He's in. Is it? Am I right, Ed?
He's in.
Okay, thank
He's
you.
in for
Where
now.
are they?
He's in.
They're 30 out of 32.
Yeah.
They get no sentiment from me. I'm not making no case they should be higher.
Well, you said they should be lower. You said
Only the-
31st. Are you backing off 31st?
Skip, looking at it, I can only come up with the Jets. That's it. That's all I can come up with the Jets.
Okay, so
That's
you
all I
say
come
they
with.
have the 31st worst skill position.
Yes.
players.
What part about 30 and first get you on the page?
I didn't understand any of it
The three
because
other
you
ones.
changed it
No,
on
I
the
didn't.
fly.
No, I did not. No, I
Yeah,
did not.
I still don't know exactly what you
You
think.
know exactly what I think.
Because you are equivocating as usual.
No.
Yep. You are straddling the fence
Dallas
because
Cow-
you are afraid of my Cowboys' firepower.
The Dallas Cowboys
Yep.
have the 31st ranked skill position.
Thank you. Now we
player
got you on
in
record.
all the NFL. They have no number one. They have a bunch of twos and fews. Literally twos and figuratively. You know what I mean by that, Skip Bayless.
Yep.
So y'all in trouble, and I'm going to win my two because you're not going to no playoffs.
By the way, he bet me one. It was just one case, or was it five?
I
I
might
go
have been
five.
Might have been
Ace
five.
champagne, right?
No,
No,
I
we
don't
got
do
Duke.
that. Just Diet Mountain Dew.
Because I'm going to get all my cases back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to get all of them back.
Yeah, he's down 11 cases to me, but that's okay.
Talk
So
to me.
tell me when it's my turn,
It's your
please.
turn.
Thank you very much. Ebony K, does it not say that running back counts in this discussion?
Yeah.
Yes.
Help me out here, Mr. Sharpe.
Yes.
You being the football historian that you are
Yes.
and the Hall of Famer that you are.
Yes.
2 years ago, did Zeke Elliott not lead the NFL in
Led it.
rushing?
Led it.
Led the
1606.
NFL in rushing. Last year, albeit in just 10 games because he got suspended for 6 others, unfortunately and wrongfully.
Which I told you he would, but okay, go ahead.
Okay. In those 10 games that he played,
Okay.
he averaged, Ezekiel Elliott, nearly 100 yards per game. Do you realize that also led the National Football League because the next in yards per game average was Todd Gurley way down at 87. So he ran away with per game average. Does that not tell you in back-to-back years, this is the best running back in football? That's what it tells. It screams that to me. And he will be even better this year because I'm going to suggest, and knock on wood as I do so, he will play all 16 games this year, and you will be in deeper and deeper and deeper trouble.
Nope.
That's what is going to happen. And I'm also going to remind you that even as a rookie, he caught 32 balls, did Ezekiel Elliott.
Okay.
He doesn't have decent hands. He has really good hands. He has Le'Veon Bell hands.
No, he does not.
Yes, he does.
He doesn't have Le'Veon or Todd Gurley hands.
And by the way, as a rookie, those 32 catches produced 11.3 yards per catch.
Yeah.
That was second in the NFL among running backs. That's pretty great. So I'm here to suggest that next year he'll catch 50 balls for 500 yards. Will that not count among the receiving yards on this team? Can you not count Ezekiel Elliott as one of the pass catchers on this team that is going to haunt you all season long? Yes, you can.
Okay, let's just say for the sake of argument, I want to placate you and say Ezekiel Elliott is the best running back. I think Le'Veon Bell, I think Todd Gurley. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. Just for this argument, I'm going to give you Zeke Elliott.
Okay, so how can you say 31st when they have the best running back in football? At least you got to go up to 15th or some middle of the pack.
Whoa, I might would have done that had they had a receiver rank in the top 40. So when I got to the 40th, you got 4 receivers that's 40 or worse. How did that pull them up to the middle of the pack?
Another new Cowboy is Tavon Austin. Little stat, little known, that I will enlighten you with is that Tavon Austin, since he came into this league in 2013, he leads all running backs in yards per carry. He leads all running backs in the NFL in yards per carry at 6.7 per touch as a carrying the football, not catching it, carrying it.
How many carries he got? 30?
Well, last year he had a career-high 59 rushing attempts. So if you give him 50-odd rushing attempts on top of Zeke, does that not count in this equation?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Is he not elusive and dangerous on tricky plays or trick plays or some sleight of hand kind of play? Yes, he is.
Do you not think the author of this article?
I don't care who wrote it. I'm only responding to what you said. You said 31st.
I'm asking you. Do you not think he factored that in?
I don't
He's
care
looking
what
at
he
he's
did.
looking at the history of Tavon Austin. What does the history show? Skip, you love history.
He's only 27 years of age, Tavon Austin. You don't think they will figure out, Scott Linehan, how to utilize him in handing him the football along to complement Ezekiel Elliott?
Let me ask you a question.
Aha.
Who do you think is a better offensive mind, Sean McVay or Scott Linehan?
I'll take Scott Linehan. I'll take him.
Now you take him.
He's more tried and true. He's more proven.
Tried and true to do what? What did he do? What's he doing?
Explosive offenses.
When?
2014, that was explosive.
And what did he get him?
It got them beat in the first round of the playoffs, but they only... What would they score in that game? What was the score? Remember the score? Did they not score 30 plus?
I don't do all that, Skip.
Okay, thank you.
My restaurant, it only takes reservations for W's or L's.
So, back to what you said about they got nothing but twos. 2 years ago, Cole Beasley was the best slot receiver in football. He caught 75
Julian
balls.
Edelman said no, he wasn't.
Okay, well, you can make that case, and sometimes I make that case, but boy, that year, he was unguardable in the slot.
Was Jarvis Landry in the league at that time?
Unguardable.
What about
Cole
Jarvis?
Beasley. I never forget what
Jarvis Landry got 200 catches over the last 2 years.
I never forget what the great Troy Aikman said one time on Fox 2 years ago. Nobody can cover Cole Beasley in the slot because nobody could cover him. He was just too quick and elusive.
I'm not here.
And what happened to him last year? He got Dez'd, just the way Dak got Dez'd. Everything became Dez dependent. They forced the ball to a guy who was a shell of himself. You know it, and I know
If you don't mind me asking.
It skewed all the numbers last year.
If you don't mind me asking, do you think they ever double-team Rob Gronkowski or Julio Jones or Antonio Brown? Name a guy that's worth his salt that doesn't get double-teamed. The really good ones, what make them really good, to go really good to great, is that they find a way to beat that.
Okay, but Dak Prescott is a read and respond by the book quarterback. And his read would always tell him, 88 single covered. I got to throw the ball to 88. And 88 led the league in drop passes last year.
Well, he's not there
Way
now.
to go.
So who you going to blame now?
We cleared the decks. Everybody will be a little better because of this. And you know what my X factor is? I keep telling you. There's this kid who's 6'6" tall, 285 pounds, a basketball player from Baylor University named Rico Gathers, who had a career-threatening head injury in training camp last year, or he would have emerged, because I saw him in preseason games.
He looked good.
Start to emerge.
I give you that.
And by the way, he went to that guru, that receiver guru, David Robinson, who's been teaching him route running, and they posted something. David Robinson posted something. Can we see this? Look at this. Look at this man move. This is 6'6", 285. This is what you're about to see. You're about to behold. in preseason games, into regular season games, if he can stay healthy. This is the next Jason Witten. This is the replacement. This is my ace in the hole.
Where you be finding these? Where do you
He
be finding-
posted it. David Robinson posted it. Not the David Robinson, but the guru, the receiver guru. You like the way he moved? You know tight ends.
He's a big guy. He moves very good for someone his size,
I like
his height.
that. I could watch that all day. We might. Can we just play that the whole show?
I would like
just
to,
drop it down
like,
the corner. We should just keep playing it.
I would like to see him
at
drop
that.
his hips a little more, but hey, for a
That's
big guy his
smooth.
size,
That's
that's not bad.
That's 6'6", 285.
But still, the skill position.
I'm getting goosebumps over
Ebony,
here.
Yes,
you
sir.
know,
Yes, sir.
he didn't mention anything about Allen Hurns. The guy that
I don't
gets
even
6
care about
million.
Allen Hurns.
Oh, what about Deontay Thompson?
I don't care
What
about
about him?
Yeah. I do care about Terrence Williams. I'm going to remind you one more time. The best game my Cowboys played last year was at home against the then very hot Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember.
And it was a dominating performance by my Cowboys, driven by Terrence Williams, who caught 9 balls for 141 yards in that game, which is pretty good because he's definitely a number 2 or number 3, but he's a pretty good number 2 or number 3. And he had foot surgery. He hurt his foot late in that game, and he wasn't the same the rest of the year. What if he's right?
You banking on that?
Yeah,
What
I
have,
am.
what have you seen over the last 5 years that make you think that he's going to be right? What have you seen from Allen Hurns over the last 2 years that makes you think he's going to be right?
Nothing. I saw one blip,
Yeah.
one burst, one big year.
He got that money.
He did.
Boom.
Yeah.
Cole Beasley had that one good year, and then boom. Terrence Williams has a game here that he hadn't even put it together for a season. At least those guys say, well, I had one season.
Yep.
He's had games or two, and that's what you're hanging your hat on, Skip Bayless? I mean, your guy, I'll give you that. If let's just say I agree with you and say Zeke is the best running back, which I clearly don't. Let the record clearly state, Ebony.
Yeah.
Can you put
Noted.
that
Okay,
Right
well,
there.
why are you even doing the hypothetical then?
Okay.
What are you trying to prove?
Well, since he's not the best,
I think you do agree
No,
with me.
no,
You're
no,
just
no,
being stubborn, but it's
Le'Veon.
okay.
Le'Veon,
You're just
hold
being
on.
anti-Cowboy.
What about
It's
what I'm
okay.
gonna do about Le'Veon?
What about him?
What am I gonna do with Todd Gurley?
The tiptoe king? That's what he does. Le'Veon's tiptoes. Huh?
Tiptoe in the end zone too.
Yeah, I'm going to tiptoe. Oh, there's no hole. I think
No,
I'm
you're
going to
like,
just take
wait.
this play off.
Okay. He's the 3rd best running back in football. Zeke Elliott is. What about those receivers? Doesn't that drag him down? If Allen Hurns is 50,
Well,
Cole Beasley.
doesn't even the 3rd best drag him up?
No!
No?
When you that low down, Skip? Man, I had grades so low I couldn't pull them up with a crane.
I can't
So
wait.
they so low them receivers, even Zeke.
I cannot wait for these NFL Mondays when I get to come in here and just do this because
And be mad
my
at-
skill players are going to show lots of skill. They're going to put points on board, and that's all you care about are W's.
You'll come in here on a Monday and demand that Jerry Jones fight Jason Garrett before you.
I might do that.
Yes,
Might do
that's
that.
what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, keep him. Keep Jason Garrett in his job because I stand a better chance of getting all this.
Messy Shannon Sharpe.
No mercy.
Let's talk about the big moves the Lakers have made this offseason. That's right. We all know they signed LeBron James to a 4-year deal. But that move was not that big of a deal, apparently, according to former Laker great and current Clippers consultant, Jerry West. West said, quote, all due respect to the Lakers, who handled everything well. But as these things go, LeBron was not a tough free agent signing. LeBron wanted to come to LA, and he wanted to come to the Lakers, period. He has a family he's thinking about. He has a home here. He has a son whom he wants to keep in one school in LA. He will be a celebrity out here, sure, but it's a place where once in a while he can get lost, be himself. You can't do that everywhere. Wow. Big statement there by Jerry West. Shannon Sharpe, are you surprised that Jerry West said this?
I'm shocked because I thought after you get a certain age, Ebony, you stop hating. Because it sure looked like some hating going on. So let me ask you a question, Skip. Was a LeBron James as easy a recruit as Shaquille O'Neal was coming to the Lakers in '96? Well, maybe he was he as easy a recruit as Kevin Durant going to the Golden State Warriors? I need Jerry West to tell me.
I'll give you those.
But
I'm with you.
He
That's
never
true.
said a word. He never said Shaquille O'Neal was easy because Shaq wanted to come to L.A. because Shaq wanted to do movies, and he made no bones, no qualms about that. Kevin Durant going to Silicon Valley area in San Francisco, the Bay Area, he made no bones about that.
Okay, but just remember, Shaquille at that point had won nothing. He'd played in the finals and lost in the finals. And he had ties to New Jersey, where he spent part of his childhood, and San Antonio, where he spent part of his childhood. So there were more options for him on the table at that point. So I think he was a little tougher. And I agree with your point. In the end, I got to go to La La Land.
Hollywood. Shaq was big into the movies because the blue chip, and he had done blue chips earlier, and then here come Kazam. And so that's where Shaq was going. Shaq's mind was not in San Antonio. They're not doing movies in San Antonio. They're not doing movies in New Jersey.
He has love for San Antonio.
Yeah, of course he does. That's what he went to, where did he go to?
LSU.
No, he went to LSU, but he went to Cole. He went to Cole High School in San Antonio. Okay,
because
granted.
his father was stationed.
Right, and then Jersey. He has love for Jersey. But Shaq's eyes were on Hollywood, not the Clippers, the Lakers. Okay, Kevin Durant. Now, I didn't hear Jerry West say anything. Kevin Durant knocked on your door. You didn't call him.
I agree. I'm with you.
Jerry West never said a word.
And your point is what?
My point is now all of a sudden he got a problem because he couldn't get O'Bron. Now he got a problem with Magic and the Lakers.
As if he thought he had a shot at O'Bron. He didn't think he had a shot.
You ran the show for the Lakers for the longest, for plus 20 years. So you know when it comes down to you and someone else, the Lakers are normally going to win. That's how it is. You know that, I know that. But now it's a big deal. You're trying to minimize, Bron wanted to come. Just like Shaq wanted to come to L.A. Just like Kevin Durant wanted to go to the Bay Area. So stop with the hating. Jerry, you steal the logo. Your place in Laker lore is secure. Y'all need to stop all this hating. Because this is very unbecoming of somebody, because I thought after you get a certain age, you really stop hating. Clearly, that's not the case. You could be in your 80s and still hate.
He just turned 80.
Because Jerry West oozed that. So he also the logo of hate.
By the way, the logo should be the greatest player who ever played in any sport. No, it should be Michael Jeffrey Jordan. You know it, and I know it. It should be.
No.
It just screams it should be Michael Jordan. Thank you.
No.
Nothing against Jerry West. So, you're just mad at Jerry West for speaking the truth. Because I sat right here 24 hours ago and I said exactly what Jerry West said in this article. I told you, as much as I love Earvin Magic Johnson, I gave him, what did I tell you yesterday? 0 credit for recruiting LeBron. I gave Earvin Magic Johnson 0 credit for what he said in those 3 hours at 9:01 Pacific time on that Saturday night at LeBron's palatial Brentwood estate, right? Because it was a done deal. It was a foregone conclusion. It was fait accompli. It was over. You know it, and I know it, because all he had to do was make nice, have a little basketball talk with LeBron, because he had to just go through the motions of, we're about to do this, right?
You know what I noticed, Skip Bayless? I noticed this a lot. Ebony, tell me if you agree with this. I noticed we love the truth as long as it's not about us or someone else we love.
So you are admitting it is the truth.
I'm saying you love the truth, but Jerry never mentioned that with it. So what did he have to, how did he pitch Shaq to come to L.A.? I want to hear interest. Can you enlighten me? How did he pitch Shaq?
Why are we changing the subject? The subject is LeBron. The subject is, how much credit does Magic deserve for recruiting LeBron James? 0.
How much credit did Jerry West get for recruiting Shaq? 100%. So what's the difference?
He didn't get 100%.
Yes, he did.
You know what he got 100% credit for? That night, that same draft night, he drafted Kobe Bryant with the 13th overall pick, and then he turned right around in the same draft and got Derek Fisher with the 24th overall. Is that not a good night? Did he not do that?
Okay.
Did he not pick them?
He did. Let me ask you a question. How many championships do the Lakers win if Shaq Diesel is not in the center of that lineup in the early 2000s? Even though they got Kobe, even though they got Fisher. How many championships?
Sure.
Because you said during that period, he was the most dominant thing you had ever seen. So I just want to know.
I give you that.
Can Jerry give me his sale pitch, what he did to get Shaq here? I just want to hear his sale pitch. The same one Magic used to get LeBron.
It was a slightly higher degree of difficulty. LeBron, this was coming for a year. He had his sights on L.A. for every reason Jerry West just made. He even went deeper about how, and I've noticed this in L.A. on my small level, people here don't care about who you are as a star. I don't know how you get treated if you walk through Beverly Hills.
They're like, oh, what's up? You be getting it? Skip, I said, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I just find on my little tiny level here, people leave me alone a lot more here than they do at any other airport in this country or wherever else I go.
Well, they look at me, Skip. They say, look, okay, he's big and black. Either he was a professional athlete or he just got out of jail. That's what they think. He either ex-professional athlete or he you know what I'm saying?
You look like a Hall of Famer. Let me just tell you that, brother.
But Skip Bayless, okay, if you don't mind me asking one more thing. What was his pitch to get Kevin Durant to come to Golden State?
None. I told you. I was the one who told you. He just knocked on that door.
Oh, so that's my point.
Why are you deflecting attention off the statement he just made? Is this not a true statement? Yes, it is.
But Skip, I have no problem with the statement. The problem I have with the messenger that delivered this statement.
Okay. You know, the messenger's got a little vendetta against the Lakers.
Yeah!
Because in 2000, he stepped aside because you know what was going on in the front office? Phil Jackson was taking over.
Right.
He was starting to assume more and more of the big picture basketball decision making, and he was starting to establish a close personal relationship with one Jeannie Buss.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Jim Buss, her brother, was starting to rise in the executive ranks,
Right.
and the handwriting was on the executive walls that Jerry West was on the way out, so he exited stage left.
Yeah.
And he didn't love it, because his heart bleeds purple and gold.
Absolutely.
Because he was a, 14-time All-Star for the Lakers. As you know, he once led the league in scoring. He once led the league in assists.
Yeah.
He was a Finals MVP, even though they lost the Finals.
The first year they had the Finals MVP in '69.
All right. But he's a decorated Laker.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay.
Give me the logo.
Okay.
And when you think of Jerry West, you think of him in that Lakers uniform.
Okay, I got you. So, because he was sort of pushed out the back door, would he not like nothing better in the whole world than to make the Lakers the second best team in Los Angeles? You better believe it. And the best move Steve Ballmer has made so far in owning the Clippers was hiring this man, just as their executive advisor. He just sits back because Lawrence Frank is the hands-on GM,
Right.
and Doc got some of the personnel decision-making taken out of his hands. So now he's just coaching. I think that's a good move.
Yes.
So all of a sudden, they take Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in the first round, and I've been watching him in the Summer League. He looks like he's going to be a star. He's averaging 19 a game and 5 rebounds and 4 assists, and he's 6'6". He just looks like a steal in the draft, thanks to Jerry
Well,
West.
not to get too far, Skip, but a lot of these rookies look really good in the Summer League.
All right.
We could agree with that. But my only problem is, Skip, is not what he said. It's the messenger, because he had opportunities and he got guys that knocked on his door. Shaq was coming. He didn't have to tell Shaq. All he showed up with was a $100 million contract.
So you would have liked the quote better if he had prefaced by saying, I got lucky with Shaq, and we got really lucky in Golden State with Kevin Durant.
Exactly.
But I'm not going to give Magic any credit for LeBron because it was a foregone conclusion.
And I was like, you know what, Jerry? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Jerry. Because it seemed the man got 2 houses out here. His family's already out here.
Yeah.
We kept hearing whispers about his son going to this school, Sierra Canyon. He wants his son to be one place. He doesn't want he's not in the military.
Yep.
So he doesn't have to move. He can control his moves.
Right.
So he didn't want the son play here, play there. He settled. I get all that. And Jerry, you're absolutely right.
And you know and I know that LeBron James wanted to live closer to his man, Shannon Sharpe. He wanted to be in your neighborhood. Am I right?
And it was easy.
And he lives like 2 miles away now.
And guess what? It was an easier sale for Shaq to come to L.A. because Shaq was unmarried with no kids. So that's a single guy coming to L.A.? Oh, but that's none of my business. I don't even know why I brought that up.
They say that's fun. I don't know.
You're a single guy in L.A., right?
Yeah.
They say that's fun.
I am now. I didn't come single, but I am now. But I'm good, Skip. I'm good.
It's never going to be the same after you get through with this town, right?
What you mean?
Huh? I know how you operate.
How do I operate?
At night, you don't prepare for this show. You're just out doing Hollywood.
No.
He's reading his Kindle. What are you talking about?
That had a lot to do with why I'm single right now.
All right, that's a little truth serum. All right, so y'all remember LeBron James' mural?
Yes.
Remember that right here in L.A.? Well, y'all, it's gone already. We're going to discuss it next on Undisputed.
You just couldn't help yourself, could you?
No mercy. LeBron James's mural, calling him the king of L.A., well, it didn't even last a week. The artist painted over it yesterday after it had been vandalized for the second time in just 5 days. The mural was originally put up last week, but it was destroyed with quotes like, quote, no king, la fraud, We Don't Want You, and 3-6, which of course references LeBron's record in the finals. All right, Shannon, how do you react to all this?
I'm shocked. I'm very disappointed that it's gotten to this point, Skip. I see a lot of things I don't like or don't agree with, but I'm not going to deface it. That's somebody's property. I'm not going to destroy someone's property. I'm not going to destroy someone's hard work because I disagree or I don't like what's up there. It's hard for me to understand if you're a Lakers fan, he's in a Lakers uniform. If you're a Kobe's fan, Kobe is secure. All the greats are secure. He's coming here to help uphold the championship legacy that those guys created before he arrived. That's what he's doing. And for some, Skip, I guess LeBron has more haters than I previously thought. And I knew he was, he's a popular figure, but he's also, there's some dislike of him. But it's more than I thought.
You just figured that out?
Yeah, because
Took you this long?
Yeah, because normally the honeymoon phase, Skip. The honeymoon is always good. Hey, we're gonna be out forever. And then as soon as the honeymoon's over, you're like, oh, I can't stand you. I can't know why I did this. But this is what I do know. I bet you the person or persons that keep defacing this, they would be the first to ask for a picture or an autograph from LeBron.
You're probably
James.
right about that.
This is, Skip, this is sad. This should be beneath someone that you would stoop to that. I mean, what do you hope to accomplish? Does it make you feel good that you wrote 3-6, that you throw Plain up there, and that the artist, and I get the artist, it takes a lot of work to do something like that, Skip. And he replaced it, like you said, this is the second time in 5 days. He said, you know what, let's just paint the wall and we'll end up putting it's a convenience store ice for $2 a bag or something like that on the corner. Skip, this is ridiculous, Skip. You can't even justify this. I already know you can't even justify this. And you the staunchest, the president of the LeBron hate club. Because for a second I thought it was you, but I've been tracking you. So you wasn't in that.
Me.
You wasn't in that side of town.
I am not president of the LeBron haters. I'm the president of the LeBron truth tellers. We tell the truth about what the king does and what he doesn't do.
So what did he do to deserve this?
I told you from the start, Los Angeles, California still belongs to Kobe Bean Bryant. It's his town and it is deep-seated and it will remain his town until LeBron carries this Laker team to a title. And I'm not sure we're going to see that. I doubt seriously we'll see that, but that's how long it's going to take.
It doesn't, Skip, it doesn't matter. It's always going to be Kobe's town. Peyton Manning carried the Broncos to a Super Bowl. It's still John Elway's town. You can't undo that when you have one guy play 20 years there and another guy that's going to play 4 or 5 years there. He can't unseat that.
Okay, but Peyton Manning did win that Super Bowl.
Yes.
You discount how much he contributed to that
but I'm
game,
saying even if LeBron were to, they're going to be these devout Kobe fans. LeBron can't win those.
This is no small issue you're dealing with.
Yeah,
here.
I know.
And trust me, when I've heard from the Snoops or the Ice Cubes, they go way back.
Yeah.
And they're wait and see on this. Again, they love LeBron. They respect LeBron, but they need LeBron to show them what he can do in purple and gold because they have the highest expectations because of Showtime and because of Shaq and Kobe.
Right.
It's a lot to live up to.
And they grew up in this Kobe era.
Okay. So this mural artist named Jonas Never, who is famous around LA because he's got them all over the place, including that iconic Karate Kid mural, which is up in Encino outside Floyd's Barbershop. It's just iconic. He's really gifted at this.
Yes.
So he dared to do a big mural, side of the building mural, with LeBron calling him the king of LA. Well, that just didn't sit well because right now there's only one king in the minds of a lot of sort of middle-aged Laker fans or older-aged or old-school Laker fans, and it's Kobe Bryant.
I can see, but Kobe's not the king. I can see if Kobe is known as the Black Mamba. I can see if he put up King Snake. Oh, you try to say LeBron's? Oh, now LeBron is a killer snake now. No, that's not what he did. So LeBron is the king. He's the king of LA.
I love this quote from Jonas Never. He said, "I thought I'd learned a long time ago to never touch religion or politics. I guess it is never touch religion, politics, or anyone against Kobe. Because in this town, you just don't do that. And this came across as anti-Kobe." So he says he got lots of positive feedback about the mural. It was beautiful.
Yes.
Beautifully done. But he got just as much and finally even more negative backlash from the Kobe lovers. And it finally got to the point where he said, I just got to whitewash the whole thing and go on about my business to my next mural.
Right.
Because it's not worth the fight of it, because it's just going to keep on keeping on. And so the first hater wrote, we don't want you, no king, and then 3-6, which is obviously LeBron's finals record.
Right.
Well, they don't want LeBron bringing 3-6 to Laker Nation. That's not what they do. They don't do 3-6.
So what was going to be the likelihood if they win a title? Is it greater or less since LeBron is
greater?
But they don't want that. I thought they loved titles. They're known for championships. So how close? So how close were they?
I know, but again, this is in your face. This is putting LeBron James on a kingly pedestal that in LA he has not yet earned.
Yeah,
is that fair?
I get that.
He's done nothing for LA yet,
Skip,
right?
They do realize that LeBron cannot scrub Kobe's legacy out of LA? Do the fans understand that Kobe is etched in stone? So is Magic, so is Shaq, so is Kareem. All these greats. Their legacy is only rivaled by the Celtics. Nobody else can say they got this. They got 10, 11, 12 basketball Hall of Famers.
But look, if LeBron steps on that floor next year with no clear-cut second star, they make no more significant moves, and he carries this team past Golden State to a championship, he would stand shoulder to shoulder with Kobe in Laker lore. He would.
No. Some people got it in their mind, Skip. We're not letting him go. No matter how many more Marvel superheroes they come out with, I'm the Hulk. I don't care if he got what kind of powers he has. Nobody's replacing him. It's just like some people love Spider-Man, some people love Batman. Now you got these new guys, they love Iron Man, or they love Thor, they love these new ones. Okay, fine, that's you. But for me, it's the Hulk. In LA, for some people, it's always going to be Kobe. It's going to always be Magic. And that's okay. LeBron is not trying to make you forget them. He's trying to make you remember what it was like when you had those glory days in 2000 and now. You remember what it was like in the 80s, Skip? You covered them. In the early 2000s, you remember what it was like? Don't you wish those days was here again? I wish those days.
Now you really wish.
Yeah. It's going to happen.
You've been a convert.
It's going to be
purple and gold.
It's going to happen.
Bleed purple and gold.
No.
Yeah, you do.
Ron going to do this.
Okay.
36.
Well, he'd better, but he's up against it.
Yeah.
This is his greatest challenge. I told you yesterday, it's not anything like going to Miami where Dwayne Wade ruled. Wade County was Dade County, right?
Yes.
Okay? But that was LeBron's best friend. So you had that where Dwayne could send the signal to Heat Nation, this is my guy.
Well, that's what Kobe did. Kobe said he's a part of the thing. Yeah.
Trying, but it won't work because nobody believes it. They just don't believe it. But Kobe's not playing anymore.
Yeah, the greater the challenge, the greater the conquest. I know what LeBron's up against. He knows what he's up against.
I don't know if he really got it until now.
Skip, the man is joining the Lakers. They got 16 of those Larry O'Brien trophies. They probably got 3 of the top 20 players of all times that grace that uniform, that have their statue or have their jersey hung up outside. So LeBron knows what he was stepping into. This is not going to Miami where they had 1 title. This was going to the Lakers. You understand what this is in football terms. This is the Steelers. This is what the Packers, the Cowboys. This is lineage here, Skip Bayless.
No,
so LeBron James. Now you think LeBron James, as high basketball IQ is, a historian of the game, doesn't know what he's about to embark upon?
Yeah, but until you get here and experience it firsthand, the deep-seated love for Kobe Bryant, it's hard to actually feel it and see it until you're in the middle of it.
We want them to keep that love. We don't want them to just like Kobe because I came. I just want you to give me that love when I bring these titles.
I got to tell you, your man LeBron had a bad day in L.A. yesterday because the mural goes down and then he leaves thousands and thousands of angry pizza eaters just standing out in the LA heat because he deceived them into thinking he was going to show up in Culver City to give away free pizza, and they got nothing.
He was giving away free pizza whether he showed up or not. That was the original premise. come LA and get free pizza.
I know, but 50,000 people showed up to just that location, so I don't know how many got pizza actually? 5,000? I don't know.
Where we gave our pizza until we ran out of dough.
Yeah, well, you ran out pretty fast.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I do. And then Savannah, what is she thinking? She posts a picture of LeBron just chilling.
That's a hub.
Huh? I know, but it's rubbing it in on these people.
Yeah, it wasn't rubbing it in.
You want to talk about making a bad first impression?
It was a situation that could have been avoided.
Yep.
And the situation got made worse because it implied or led people to believe that he was going to show up, and then Savannah tweeted the picture. But that's not going to undo all the good that he's done.
Think of what just happened. LeBron went from being the king of Akron to the villain of Los Angeles.
He's still the king of Akron because
Well,
he got 1,100 kids going to college on his dime.
All right, good for him.
I promise he got an I Promise charter school opening up.
Okay.
And he's going to watch how active he be in the community. They'll love him.
That's fantastic stuff. All right, folks, we're talking a lot about the Lakers and a possible championship, but we know there's a big team in the way, and that's the Golden State Warriors. So the question is, do the Lakers have the right formula to knock off the Warriors? We'll discuss it with our own Chris Broussard next on Undisputed.
No mercy.
Now, LeBron's had his struggles with the Warriors, losing 3 out of the last 4 years to Golden State in the finals. Now, since he's arrived in L.A., he's playing a big role in filling out the Lakers roster. Yesterday, GM Rob Pelinka gave his thoughts on how to beat the Warriors. Take a listen.
If your goal is to win a championship, you've got to look at the way the champs are assembled and how you can give yourself the best chance, to take them down. It's not the sole focus or the sole goal, but it's certainly part of the equation. And, Irvin and I had a conversation, and, LeBron echoed this sentiment that I think to try to play the Warriors in their own game is a trap. No one's going to beat them at their own game. And so that's why we wanted to add these elements of sort of defense and toughness and depth and try to look at areas where we'll have an advantage.
Joining us is FS1 NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Chris, do you agree with Pelinka saying right here?
I get where he's coming from. I think he makes some great points. You guys know, I've said several times on this show, I think Cleveland's problem the last few years is they lost their identity, their toughness, their defensive mindedness, and they just started trying to outshoot the Warriors. And you can't do that. Houston, Cleveland, nobody can outshoot the Warriors. The Warriors are the best shooting team ever. Okay, you're not going to do it. Now, history backs this up. If you look at, they're trying to take a page out of Houston Rockets book. Houston took them 7, had them down 3-2. How? They switched everything, and when you switch, that tempts the other team to just get into ISO basketball. Right. So the games they had success in, Golden State got away from its motion offense, went ISO, and Houston actually beat them 95-92 and 98-94. Holding a team like that to in the low 90s was incredible. LeBron looks back and says, okay, in 2015, no Kyrie, no Kevin Love. We go 6 with them with Matthew Dellavedova, bumping Steph, assaulting Steph, Mozgov, Iman Shumpert, J.R. Smith. We got physical with them, and we had a pretty good shot. In 16, they got physical with them again, and they won. Now, here's the challenge. Even if you look at 15 and 16, the Cavs still were a top 3 three-point shooting team in those years. In 2016, when they won Game 7, the game winner was a 3. J.R. hit 2 threes in the third quarter to change the tone.
Who hit that?
J.R. Smith.
No, who hit the game winner?
LeBron, I think, right?
It was
Kyrie Irving.
Why you do that?
You just glossed over that.
No, he did. He said to get.
But it was a 3. Kyrie hit a great shot. My point is, in today's NBA, you still need some level of three-point shooting. And I don't know that the Lakers will have that. And I think another challenge is that this is a strategy that might be built for Golden State, but you might have trouble getting past some of the other teams if you don't have the shooting or the style to beat them. Now, look, I think it's a good plan. Will it work against Golden State? No. That's the bottom line.
I love the plan because just what we do know, the plan of shooting 53s and hoping that you make 20 of them, that's not going to work because they have 3 of the all-time greatest shooters. You don't have that. And the majority of the time, these guys are playing 30, 35 minutes together. So one of them go cold, the other guy can pick up the slack. Two of them go cold. We've seen Kevin Durant carry it. We've seen Steph carry it. We've seen Clay carry it. The likelihood of your two stars going cold and you still winning the game is not very good. As you mentioned, the games that Houston won, they were in the 90s. That Game 7 in which the Cavaliers won in Golden State. 92, what was it, 93, 89. So that's where you need to be. You trying to beat them scoring 120, 125, they're going to end up with 132, 140. So you're not going to win that game. I agree. You get tough-minded guys that can switch everything, that's going to play hard. You got to still make a mess. You still got to score points now because you're not going to, the days of the 73-68 ball games, those are long, long gone. But I like this philosophy that they have. I ain't got no problem him putting it out there. Whether you say it or not, teams know how, with the exception of the Rockets. I don't think Rob Pelinka is obsessed with the Warriors like Daryl Morey is, because he's building everything. Well, I'm getting shooters, I'm getting this, and this. But
I don't know. I think it just started. I think he just voiced his obsession, yes.
Well, the best chance that Daryl Morey had is that when he had Tuck, he had Ariza, he had Mbah Moute, he had Capella, he had 4 guys.
I agree.
They're going to miss them.
Right. So that's a recipe. I'm not going to say it's going to be a great dish.
As I always say on this show, because I'm objective about LeBron James, he has the highest basketball IQ in all of basketball. I say it over and over and over again, but I'm a hater. I'm a hater. But he has the highest IQ, and he's the best passer in all of basketball. And the best pass that he makes is to sharpshooters on the perimeter. I've never seen a better three-point passer than LeBron James is, because he, at 6'9", can see over everything and makes great two-handed over-the-head passes. Hits them right in the pocket over in the corner. It's like beautiful to watch.
That one to Kyle Korver, great pass.
Yeah, great pass.
Just didn't finish.
A lot of times that don't snap hammer where you go baseline. Skip, you know how you do it
basket.
baseline, Skip? How you like on one baseline?
Wait, you mean the play that Ginobili invented? He invented it. He brought it to the NBA. He did. Thank you very much.
He also brought flopping.
So right now, I'm to think that Rob Pelinka, or is it Rob Lowe? Was that Rob Lowe or Rob?
Stop!
I don't know who it was. I get them mixed up, or did they have Rob Lowe stand in for Rob Pelinka? He looks just like
Skip Bayless.
I don't know.
You do know.
Now, Rob Pelinka, and Magic Johnson are telling LeBron James, highest IQ in basketball, you were dead wrong in your approach in Cleveland to this. You can't do it. You were upside down in how you were attacking Golden State. Yet, I watched a Game 1 in Oakland in which the Cleveland Cavaliers, with nothing but shooters and no defense, I don't know how they did it, but they had the Warriors on the ropes in Game 1. Am I right?
Yeah.
They had them dead to rights. They just didn't close the deal.
He can't score 51 every night. That's why they had him on the ropes.
He could have scored 53 and the game would have been over and we'd be having a whole different conversation.
No, actually, should have ended with 49, 8-8, because JR should have just put the ball back in and the ball game's over.
That invincible Warriors team then went to Cleveland up 2-0 for Game 3. And I don't know how this happened, but Cleveland was up 1 point with 3 minutes left in that game. Really? Up 1 point.
1 point with 3 minutes.
How could you do that?
Really?
How could you do that if you're overmatched because you're going at it the exact wrong upside down way? I don't know. I don't get it. I think LeBron had the right approach in Cleveland. So now, Rob Pelinka is saying, we now have the best player in the world. He is the new center of our Laker universe, and we are going to build a defensive team around a player in LeBron James who ranked 317th in individual defense
kind of like
last year.
Houston did James Harden.
Interesting.
You can hide.
317th. So you got to hide LeBron James on defense?
He's like that.
Like they hid James Harden.
That's interesting to me. 317th. And you're up against a team in Golden State that in the playoffs had 5 of the top 13 ranked defenders in the postseason. In Draymond 2 and Clay 4 and Steph 6 and KD was 9th and even Iguodala was 13th. That's you want to talk about defense, you want to talk about playing two-way basketball, this is the essence of this. So Rob Pelinka comes across to me as a guy who's a Twitter victim. He's a social media victim because he's taken a beating on whatever social media and in the blogs and the newspapers because of all the head-scratching moves they have made except for LeBron. Obviously, that was the greatest move they've made, but LeBron knocked on their door just the way Kevin Durant knocked on Golden State's door. So I can't give him a lot of credit for that, but they got him. So then they started adding pieces around him, and everybody's saying, huh? I'm pretty sure Chris Broussard, a new Laker fan, is saying, huh? Am I right? You're
Well,
saying, what?
They need shooting.
Okay.
They need some shooting.
Okay, but see, he's
But
trying to
I get
defend.
And here's the thing. It's only 1 year. I don't
Okay.
mind. It's a 1-year experiment. Let's see what happens in 1 year.
But he's talking about taking down Golden State. Well, I got to presume
He
he's
didn't
talking
say this year.
Well, then all these are 1-year deals.
I think it's
right?
a 1-year experiment to see
Okay.
where. And I'll say this, Skip. I mean, look, you're right. They were close, but close doesn't matter. You know.
But they had them. It was their style.
Houston
worked.
had 'em.
It did.
Houston
The
had 'em.
last 2 years that they've tried to outshoot Golden State, Cleveland, they've been 1-8 against them in the finals. The 2 years prior, when they were defense, tough-minded, they were 6-7 against
I
them
give
in
you
the
that.
finals. You know.
Who is the driving force of that team? Who was? It was LeBron. And in 15 and 16, he was still a top defensive player. He was a first-team all-defensive kind of player, and they did. They played football, basketball with him. And I loved it, but they didn't have KD either, so you don't have that one nuclear weapon that you have to deal
And
with.
plus, here's the thing. The thing is that when you have Kyrie, you have a guy, LeBron, can just go stand in the corner, and Kyrie can still go get you 30. Last year, they don't have that, so now he has to not only go get you 30, 40 points a night, but he also needs to get you 10 assists because he has to facilitate for everyone else because no one else can get their own shot. And he also has to rebound because you never know what Kevin Love's going to show up. You never know which Tristan's going to show up.
Okay.
So
That's going to be a similar problem this year. There's no second. Who's the second scorer? I mean, Kuzma
Here
or
we go.
Brandon Ingram.
The excuse is
I
built in.
It's an excuse.
I
if I'm the Lakers,
I'm going to hear this all year long.
Do they have a second scorer?
Well, that's what. But he's saying they're the second best team.
I didn't say that. Vegas said that.
I do think this, Skip.
You signed off on that.
No, I didn't sign
I
off on
think
that.
Houston. I think Houston has dropped off a little bit, even if they get Melo. And I think it's Golden State, and then a huge bunch of teams that are similar. New Orleans, L.A.,
Portland, Utah, Denver.
Portland. You know what I mean? I think they're all bunched in
I
together.
think Oklahoma City is really good.
Oklahoma, but I still think they're in that group. You think they're apart from
They're
that
better than the Lakers are. Just because they got rid of Melo. It's like the Cowboys getting rid of Des Bryant and they got Robertson back. So now their defense goes up a notch. They're just a little better than the
and
Lakers.
shooting
Not a
goes-
lot, but a
and their
little
shooting
better.
goes down because
Yeah.
Robertson is terrible shooting the basketball.
Remember, Plink also is defending the fact, he said it's a misnomer that they don't have shooters because he goes down his roster and he says Josh Hart shot 40% last year. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram was 39%. KCP was 39%. LeBron shot 37 last year. Kuzma shot 37. But the Lakers as a team were the second worst three-point shooting team. So I don't know.
Ingram didn't take a lot of threes.
No,
He took like two
neither,
a game.
and Josh
so.
Hart didn't play that much.
And you know who he left out that drug that three-point percentage down?
He did. 31%.
Yeah, he didn't
Lonzo
want to talk.
Ball.
He didn't mention that name, did he, Chris? He didn't mention that name.
I just did.
Chris ain't even mentioned his name.
I think Lonzo's in the plan.
Light-skinned brothers stick together. That's why he ain't mentioned his name.
Really?
It's that time of the show.
No mercy. Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. We're back again tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports, one of one.